Okay, so you want to own a gas station. It seems like one of the safest businesses on earth. Cars never stop driving. People need fuel every single day. Every few minutes, another customer pulls in, fills the tank, taps a card, and leaves. The numbers look incredible. A busy location can process millions of dollars in fuel sales every year. From the outside, it feels like a money printing machine that practically runs itself. But that's where the mental model breaks down, because the business you're looking at isn't really a fuel business, it's a traffic business. Read that again. The gasoline gets customers onto the property. It doesn't necessarily make the owner rich. In fact, many independent stations earn only a few cents on every gallon they sell after wholesale costs, transportation, credit card processing fees, and taxes are taken into account. A customer might spend $50 filling the tank, while the station keeps only a tiny fraction of that amount. So why do investors still buy gas stations? Because the smartest operators understand something most people don't. The fuel isn't the product, it's the advertisement. The real business begins only after the customer gets out of the car, walks through the front door, and starts buying everything with far higher profit margins. That's where the economics becomes surprisingly interesting, and where fortunes are actually made. Now, not all gas stations are built the same. People often imagine every station operates under the exact same business model. They don't. The first tier is the small independent neighborhood station. Purchasing an existing location typically costs anywhere from $500,000 to $2 million, depending on the property, equipment, fuel volume, and local demand. These stations usually rely on loyal local customers and often have a modest convenience store with limited inventory. The second tier is the branded franchise station. Think of the familiar national fuel brands that dominate major intersections and highways. Buying into one of these operations can require an investment of $1 million to $5 million or more. In return, owners benefit from brand recognition, established fuel supply agreements, and stronger customer trust, although franchise requirements and operating standards are significantly stricter. The third tier is the modern travel center. These facilities are designed for both commuters and long-haul truck drivers. Total development costs can easily exceed $10 million. Alongside fuel, they generate revenue from restaurants, truck parking, showers, maintenance services, and much larger retail stores. So far, so good. But regardless of which category you choose, buying the station is only the beginning. The purchase price gets you through the front door. Keeping the business operating every single day requires a completely different level of capital, planning, and financial discipline. Now, here's where aspiring owners usually underestimate the business. Buying a gas station is only the first check you'll write. Before selling a single gallon of fuel, you may need to replace underground storage tanks, modernize fuel dispensers, upgrade payment terminals, improve security systems, and renovate the convenience store. A major equipment upgrade alone can cost several $100,000, while constructing an entirely new station can easily require an investment of $3 million to $7 million before the doors even open. Then come the hidden operating costs. Electricity runs around the clock. Fuel pumps, refrigeration units, lighting, and air conditioning consume power every hour of every day. Environmental regulations require continuous monitoring of underground tanks, leak detection systems, and strict compliance inspections. Insurance premiums are higher than many retail businesses because operators handle flammable materials and face environmental liability. Credit card processing fees quietly reduce profits on nearly every transaction, while employee wages, maintenance, inventory losses, and property taxes continue regardless of how much fuel is sold. And then there's working capital. Fuel suppliers generally expect prompt payment, meaning owners must constantly purchase new inventory before receiving the full benefit of previous sales. That's the financial trap. Many people believe they're investing in a simple retail business. In reality, they're managing an asset that combines real estate, logistics, environmental compliance, retail operations, and constant cash flow management, all at the same time. Every one of those moving pieces carries a cost. Now, here's where most people completely misunderstand the gas station business. They think the money comes from selling gasoline. It usually doesn't. Fuel is what brings customers onto the property, but the real profits often come from everything surrounding the fuel. Walk inside the convenience store, and the economics change instantly. Bottled drinks, coffee, snacks, prepared food, tobacco products where permitted, and car care items typically generate far higher margins than gasoline ever could. A customer who buys a $50 tank of fuel may earn the owner less profit than another customer who walks in and purchases a coffee, a sandwich, and a bag of chips. Think about it like this. Imagine two customers. The first spends $60 on fuel and leaves immediately. The second spends $40 on fuel, then walks inside and buys $10 of convenience store items. Even though the second customer spends less overall, The station owner often earns more profit from that visit because the merchandise carries much healthier margins. That's why successful operators focus on increasing store traffic instead of simply selling more fuel. Loyalty programs encourage repeat visits. Fresh food keeps customers inside longer. Clean restrooms attract travelers. Fast service increases daily transaction volume. Read that again. The pumps generate traffic. The store generates profit. Once you understand that simple equation, the economics of owning a gas station look completely different. The winning operators aren't selling gasoline. They're monetizing every customer who stops for it. So, if gas stations serve thousands of customers and generate millions of dollars in annual revenue, why do so many owners still fail? Because revenue and profit are not the same thing. Many operators borrow heavily to purchase expensive properties, assuming steady fuel sales will comfortably cover their loan payments. Then fuel margins tighten, interest rates rise, or local competition intensifies. Cash flow shrinks, but the debt remains exactly the same. A few weak months can quickly become a financial crisis. Inventory management creates another problem. Convenience stores carry hundreds of products, many with expiration dates, overstock the shelves, and cash sits trapped in unsold inventory. Understock them, and customers leave without making high-margin purchases. Either mistake quietly reduces profitability. History offers several warnings. In 2018, the parent company of the well-known convenience store chain Maple Leaf Foods' fuel division filed for creditor protection after years of financial pressure, forcing major restructuring efforts. The lesson was simple: large sales volumes cannot compensate for excessive debt and weak operating economics. Another example is Friendly's locations that included fuel operations through various partnerships. Several sites struggled because declining customer traffic and high fixed costs made the combined business model difficult to sustain. Even when fuel sales continued, the pattern repeats again and again. Owners rarely fail because people stop buying gasoline. They fail because debt, operating costs, and poor execution consume the small profits the business actually produces. So, after everything we've covered, is owning a gas station actually a good business? The answer is yes, but probably not for the reasons most people think. A well-managed independent gas station with a strong convenience store can produce annual net profit margins of roughly 3 to 8% after operating expenses. Exceptional operators with prime locations, efficient inventory management, and strong in-store sales may occasionally reach 10% or slightly higher. Most don't. In an optimistic scenario, an owner with limited debt, steady fuel volume, and a busy retail store can earn an attractive return on investment while building long-term equity in the underlying real estate. That's the outcome people dream about. The realistic scenario is less glamorous. Fuel margins remain thin, labor costs continue to rise, equipment eventually needs replacing, environmental regulations become stricter, competition never disappears. A few poor financial decisions can erase an entire year's profit. Now, here's the lesson. The people who succeed in this industry don't obsess over selling more gasoline. They obsess over cash flow, inventory turnover, operating efficiency, and getting every customer to spend a little more inside the store. Read that again. The fuel creates the traffic, the retail business creates the profit, and the real estate often creates the long-term wealth. That's the economics of owning a gas station. The math can deliver impressive revenue. Turning that revenue into lasting profit is the part that separates owners from successful operators.